So Forbes announced their numbers this past week. And this is super nerdy, right? But the things I want you to take from this, there's a few educated guesses on here. The Pirates last year took in revenues of roughly $308 million. Payroll was $87 million. It costs about $165 million to run a Major League Baseball team, just non-payroll expenses. That means payroll could have been $143 million. That's your break-even point. Now, some of these numbers are derived from equations. Some of these are educated guesses, but like we're within a pretty small margin here. Remember, we could be off. Like OG could be off here, but like we're probably not off by a whole lot. Let's just say that let's say we're off by $20 million somehow. That means we're still looking at, you could throw $120 million payroll out there. When you put this on paper and you really break it down, how much money do you get from media? How much money do you get from merchandise? How much money do you get from gate receipts? This is all it right here. And this is saying Pirates could have spent $143 million last year. Now, again, it could be a little off, but I'm just like, this is basically just saying they don't have to trade Mitch Keller.
And also, OG, like, awesome job there. Very informative. Yeah, I mean, there's still a bunch of unknown, and I get that. There's also the level of, that's just this year. Payroll's been 60 million, 70 million, last year to 80 million. So how much have they been banking during that tenure? Like, this is the time they talked about, like, when it's time to spend, we'll spend. And again, this is the time. If right now the break even is, like you mentioned, 120, right? As a business person, you want to make money, and I get that. So you've done good business. You haven't put out a good product, but you've done good business. Maybe it's time to invest into that business, because by investing into this ball club, you might get some extra returns as well. So we think the break even's the 140, or again, with that margin of error, maybe it's 120. But you know what, Jim? Maybe you make some money this year because that total of the fans increases. And I don't know, how much money do you make when you play in the playoffs? Because it sounds like you get a pretty good return. And I don't know, if you're good enough to go to the damn World Series, it sounds like you get a really good return. So maybe it's time to, now you have a product here to actually invest into and not just do good business. Do both. But yes, I'm with you to stop that and charade here. Like, the Royals spent like their payroll last year was $122 million. Like, that's what you were alluding to. Like, just do what the lowly Kansas City Royals did last year. So instead of trading Mitch Keller, just go get that bat.
This was brought to you by Griddly. Use code NS9 at checkout for 30% off your first order. Go to griddly.com and see what true durability feels like.